Hi, this is Gary from 3Bug Media, and today we're going to talk about Copywriting 101. We're going to talk about features, benefits, and outcomes. Now, when it comes to small business copywriting, most small businesses get stuck at features, talking about what their product or service actually does and listing out all of the features that come with it. Some focus on benefits too, which is what the customer is going to gain by buying your product or service. Very rarely does a small business in their copywriting talk about outcomes. How, by purchasing your product or service, does it make their life better? And that's what we're going to talk about today. So let me give you an example of how this works. And we'll talk about an Apple iPod, and I made up these numbers, so don't pay any attention to them. But say you're Apple and you're selling an iPod. If they were only going to focus on features, they would talk about the storage, 4 gigabytes of storage. They would talk about things like the battery life, how you can get 48 hours of play before having to recharge it, things like that. Those are features of the Apple iPod. Now, if they're going to talk about benefits, then you would talk about its ability to hold 4,000 plus songs. So you always have your library with you no matter what. They might talk about having it always available. It's small, it's portable, it never runs out of batteries. So you can just charge it once, throw it in your car, take it for a weekend trip, and it'll always be ready to play for you. Those are benefits of having an Apple iPod. But let's talk about outcomes. An outcome is helping the customer envision what their life is like having your product or service. So outcome examples for this, we might talk about memories or romance. So memory might be, when that moment strikes, when you're thinking about your childhood and you remember, certain music from your childhood, you'll always have it with you where you can play it back and you can have that nostalgia of thinking about those specific childhood memories that relate to that music. That would be an outcome because the person can envision themselves back when they were younger listening to the same music. It could be romance. It could be maybe you're on the perfect date with the perfect person and the moment strikes and you always have the perfect song ready to play because you can hold so many songs on your Apple iPod. And these are examples of things where when people hear these things, they start to envision themselves with this product or service. And that is what ultimately sells. So I'm going to give you a little tip because a lot of times businesses struggle with the outcome part. Features are simple. Benefits are easy if you kind of lay them out. Outcomes are a little bit tough. So I'm going to teach you these 2 words. If you can remember these 2 words so that you'll pretty much always have an outcome. So I'll give you an example. The Apple iPod has 4 gigabytes of storage. It has ability to hold 4,000 songs so that when you're thinking about your childhood memories and that, summer when you were 15 years old and you'll remember, the Eagles or something like that, you'll always have them at the tip of your, the tip of your fingers to play that music anytime you want. So if you can remember this when you're trying to figure out an outcome, when you talk about your features, benefits, add so that, and whatever comes after that is your outcome. And focus on your outcome because outcomes makes people dream. And if you're in sales, you'll know that head versus the heart always wins. People buy with emotion and they justify it with logic. Almost never the other way around. So you got to pull at their heartstrings. You got to get them thinking about a better self for them with your product or service, and you got to hit at the heartstrings. Okay, so I hope you learned a little bit about copywriting, and hopefully when you write your copy from now on, you'll always make sure you include your outcomes in there. And if you want to learn more, you can go to 3bugmedia.com, and you can also subscribe to our YouTube channel below. Thank you very much and have a good day.